index cards at this point, so I can make sure that some of your questions are answered. The tenor of political discussion in elected bodies has become increasingly acrimonious on the federal, state, county, and city levels. What do each of you, the candidates, feel will be his strength in engaging cooperation and compromise in the city commission that will lead to effective government? I'm sorry, I'm reading through some handwriting, but essentially there's been a lot of diverse and rude behavior, if you want to know the truth. And what would you do to make sure that that doesn't happen in our city government?
Well, I think, you know, I think respectful and professional discourse is important. It's the only way that you can go from one subject to another and not have the last subject that you disagreed on bleed over into the next subject. So I think it's incredibly important to be professional and have the city commission a respected body in this community. You know, but it's about working with people. Like I said before in the homeless answer, I spent years fostering relationships in this community. Relationships that will serve me well and serve us well as a commissioner. People point to the relationship between the city commission and the county commission, how bad it is, as a problem. But look, I never point to my endorsements to say, hey, vote for me because this person endorsed me. But I point to them for this reason. You know, I have the endorsement of some people that you would think would be diametrically opposed. The chief prosecutor in Sarasota has endorsed my candidacy, but also the public defender. These people know that I can reach across a table and I can work with people in a professional way to get things done. You know, my endorsements are on my website, but the point is you have to be professional. It's how you approach these issues. It's how you approach people and problems. And if you make it personal, those issues bleed over into the next discussion and taint the next thing you try to get done. We just can't, we don't have time for that.
Okay, thank you. This one I haven't heard recently at the many forums I've attended.
Here.
Up here.
Martin needs to respond.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's, you know, we can do one at a time. It's fine. I mean, it's funny. Hagen never meant us to do endorsements except every time, you know.
No.
I'm kidding. I just think it's fun. I've been there. Yeah, with the city-county thing, and then the city with people is possibly slightly different. The city-county thing is a little bit of a problem. I mean, there's an ideology there. You are talking about 5 Democrats on the city commission historically, for the most part, and the county commission almost historically always been 5 Republicans. I think Hagen will be fine crossing the bridge, because actually half the time I think he's a Republican anyway. So I think we can actually make this work. I think that being social and having some good skills, we have to steer back from being too centrist, too neighborhood centric. That whole ambulances down Orange thing, although I made a lot of fun of Susan Chapman and the lunacy that went with that, there was a tighter point to that. The point was that she's so caught up and so focused in her immediate neighborhood to overlook the reality is that there's a lot of other people here. And upset a lot of people, a lot of people, the first responders and so on and so forth, couldn't understand that. So being approachable, occasionally laughing at yourself, even I certainly can recognize my idiocy from time to time, and I'm prepared to acknowledge it and not so much embrace it, but live with it. And none of us up here are terribly more smart than anybody else here in the room. We're just the ones that drew the short straw and decided to run for office.
And regardless of your position, we thank you for doing that.